So here we have our Islay motorhome. This is a 2 to 4 person. It's a Rollerteam Zefiro 665. It's great for 2 adults, 2 children, up to 3 adults. You can accommodate 4 adults, but it's a little bit snug. For small adults, you might just be okay. So, when you unlock this, just push the top button once to unlock the front door, or double tap it, and that will unlock the back door as well. Or if you only want to unlock the habitation door, just push the bottom button once, and that will unlock that. In behind the front passenger door here, we have the fuel filler. So, we'll open that. For the diesel, it's an easy fill, so you just push the nozzle straight in, and this is for the Adblue. Adblue reduces the diesel emissions by up to 80%. If you run out of Adblue, it will go into limp mode or potentially not even start. So it's really important to make sure you don't run out, but we will always have it topped up before you collect the motorhome. You don't need to top it up while you're away, unless you're doing really high mileage. A full tank of Adblue will give a range of 3,000 to 4,000 miles depending on the driving techniques. So that's your fuel. We always supply it with a full tank of diesel, so please bring it back with a full tank of diesel, and your folder inside will show you where the nearest fuel stations are on the way back. Moving along here, we have your gas locker. So if I just turn around this way, if you come around that side, thank you. So I'll unlock this, turn the handle. In here we have your gas bottle, so when you park up, just undo the brass valve on top there. So it's anti-clockwise to open, clockwise to close it off. So I'll leave that unlocked right now so I can show you how to use the controls. If you do empty this gas bottle, we would ordinarily have a spare behind, and it's a reverse thread on the pigtail hose there. So you're turning it clockwise to open it off and anti-clockwise to tighten that back on. So I'll leave that open so I can show you the controls. We can ignore this one just now. This is for external gas appliances. We don't supply any of those. And if you've brought your own, I'm sure you know how to use that. So the toilet cassette, it basically collects everything that goes down the toilet. One thing to bear in mind with that is the longer you hold your button on the flush inside, the quicker that's going to fill up. So you only want to hold it as long as you need. Now to open this, turn the key there, push both buttons in as you pull the door open. To remove your toilet cassette, you just lift the blue lever underneath to slide that out. If it doesn't slide out easy, don't yank it. The mechanism will all fall apart. If it's not sliding out really easy, it's because the hatch on the inside of the toilet is open. So that will make more sense when we go inside. So slide that out, pull the nozzle round, undo the blue cap, and pour it down your chemical waste. Push the blue button there to stop the air vacuum, and it will shoot out empty a lot quicker and carry everything else with it. If all the waste out with it. Now if you don't push that, it'll be glug 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 splashing everywhere. Once it's empty, wherever there's a chemical waste on the campsite, there will usually be a little hose hanging up with a push button tap. Line that up with this nozzle here, put 2 or 3 litres of water back inside, put the cap on, give it a good shake and empty it out to make sure it's all fully rinsed. And then afterwards, fill this cap here with the green chemicals. They're inside, we'll show you that in a moment, but fill that with the green chemicals, and then pour it back inside, put your cap on, and then it's all good to go again. So that's your toilet cassette. We'll just close that off there and just close the key there. That's it locked up. And then we've got your rear garage space. So we'll unlock that one there, unlock that one there, pull that round. And then this door here has a little catch there to hold it back, so that's that one open. And then inside, so this is the toilet chemicals we were talking about. We'll always supply enough for your trip, for you to empty the toilet cassette every day, which will always be enough. And then we've got your grey floor towels. So the grey one's just for wiping the floor if it's raining, the floor's getting wet inside. The blue bag is your external silver screen for the front window. We'll show you in a separate video how to pop that on. But then you've got your camping chairs. There's a camping table in the black square bag under the back there. This blue bag is your levelling blocks. So if the ground's uneven where you're parking up and you want to level out your van, you can put the blocks down and drive on to level it out. This ladder is for the electric drop-down bed inside, and then over the other side we've got your hookup cable, hose, road safety kit. So we'll just walk around the other side to show you that. I'll just show you how to close these doors up. So when you close this door round, push it to, turn each handle 180 degrees to close it, and push the handle in to lock it. That didn't stay in, so I've just turned it a little bit more, and then it will stay in. Same there. That'll stay in. Now if the handle doesn't stay in, it'll be because the key barrel is unlocked. So for example, like that, it's just not going to stay in if it's unlocked. So if that's happening, just hold it still, turn the key, and then that'll stay in, that's it locked. In terms of driving tips, now you've got a reverse camera up on the back here, but it's worth noting you've got a good 2 metre overhang from the rear axle. So we would always recommend, whenever you're reversing, always have the front passenger jump out and guide you back. It's always really helpful to have the extra set of eyes at the back to make sure you're not running aground. The camera's there to assist, but don't rely on it. If someone helps guide you back, you avoid probably 95% of your risk. And you've also got a bike rack on the back there as well. So that's everything on the back there. Now, just coming around this side, we'll open up this locker here. There we go. And then in here, we have the hose and the hookup cable. So I just want to get these two out. I've got the bags open ready just to show you how to pop these on. So this first one here is for the electric hookup cable. So the end of the cable that has the cap on it, just there, hold the cap horizontal and slide it in over the top like so. And then connect this end without the cap to the campsite end. You'll often have a switch to turn or trip switch to flick to turn on the power. And then to release this, push down the lever there and slide that back to disconnect it. So that's your electric hookup cable. And then when you close this, make sure that clips in so that it's not flapping around in the wind as you're driving, because they can snap off. And then in here you have your hose. Hold the cap still. When it's locked, it will just spin like so. So hold it still, undo the cap there, remove it. Always remove the key from the cap. You don't want to leave your key hanging under there. Otherwise, when you fill up, your key's going to get wet. And then here you have a run flat hose with hose connector there, tap connector there, sorry. And then this end, just hold it in line with the fill point there and fill it up until it overflows. So the tank in this is 100 litres. Sounds like a reasonable amount. The pump at full flow is capable of up to 7.5 litres a minute. So in theory, if you've got the taps on full, you could potentially run out of water in about 15 minutes. So just bear that in mind when you're doing washing your hands or something, brushing your teeth. Turn the tap off when in between when you're not using it. So that's your hose there. And then everything that I'll just close that one off there. So when you're using the taps inside, everything's going to drain down into the grey waste tank, which is under the back here. So you see this little handle here, just pull that out to open to drain it and push it into close. You've only got a couple of inches of movement on that. So on all campsites, there'll be a motorhome service point, usually with a metal grid on the ground that you would drive over, pull the handle, let that drain out. You can see where the drain point is. And you'll most of the time have a drinking water tap next to it to fill up your freshwater tank at the same time as this is emptying. So if you've run out of fresh water, you'll need to empty this, and if you need to empty this, you'll need to fill up your fresh. So you would always do it at the same time. So I'll leave that closed off there. So in the front here, just want to show you this. You've got your electric handbrake down here. So it's automatic, park, reverse, neutral, drive, manual. Forget the M for manual. You'd only really want to use that if you wanted some extra engine braking when heading down a steep descent, but you won't have any roads like that you're driving on, I'm sure. And you can check which gear you're in here. So when you go to pull away, just remember electric handbrake here, push it in to release and pull it up to activate, turn it on when you park up. You've got a screen in here that you can connect your phone with Bluetooth for the Apple CarPlay / Android link. And you can pull that up and over, and that's spring loaded if you want to leave your phone up above there, but otherwise you can just put it down in the little ducket down there. So that's it. You've got tilt and trim lever there to push it in or pull it out. I tend to have it pulled up when I'm driving, but then when I go to turn this seat round, I push that in, and then this seat here, to turn it around, I'm going to twist myself around so that my knees aren't under there, slide that forward, and then pull that lever out there to turn that seat round. Okay, so jumping inside. Up here we have the control panel, so I'm just going to push home to turn that one on. There we go, and we're going to wait until we see the Bluetooth sign come up there, give it another 5 seconds, and then we've got resources on the left there. So you've got starter battery 12.3, they would tend to sit between 12.3 and 12.7, so that's about average. Leisure batteries 13.4, well 13.3. It's hovering in between. A full battery is 12.9 volts. Anything over and above, it's obviously taking extra power from the charger, so that will be taking power from the solar at the moment. And your water's 100%, that will go to 66%, 33%, 0. And as the fresh water goes down, the waste will go up. I'm going to push home to come back there. Then we've got switches. When you park up, turn on your water pump, and interior lights. The interior light is effectively turning on the 12-volt power, so that will also provide power to the TV. There's instructions in the manual there for how to activate the TV. And then we'll just come back here, and then you've got your room climate, heating, energy source is gas. So I'll click into that. If you're on a campsite with electric, you can turn on the 1800 watt and turn the gas off. But right now, I've turned gas on and electric off because we don't have the hookup connected. The current temperature is 18 and it records the temperature from there, and we've got it set to 22. You can just adjust the temperature like so, and when it starts heating, the circles will flash red. If we come back here, you'll see you've now got the green turquoise line and the temperature that it's set to. And to turn it off, click back in and push power there, and that's it off again. And then hot water, click in there, click turn on, and you've got 3 settings: 70 degrees long shower, 60 degrees shower, or 40 degree dishes. Energy source is the same as the heating. I'll push back to come back here and back to the main menu, and you'll see that you've got your green turquoise line. We left it set to 40 degrees, so it's got the 40 degrees showing there. Once it's up to temperature, that would say ready. So wait until it says ready before opening the taps. Think of it as a little bit like an urn or a kettle. You need to wait for the water to heat up before you open the taps. Otherwise, you're going to be emptying the lukewarm water. The boiler will refill with cold water, and you start the process again. And when you're finished, just click in there, turn it off. So that's your main control panel. The front seats swivel round. So you can, as you saw, you can swivel the front seats around, and then under here you've got a little lever that you can squeeze up to move that table all around. Over here you've got USB charging points. They will always work off the leisure battery. And then here you've got your window blinds. So you can hook that down, just hook that up there like so. And then to close it, open it, sorry, just squeeze the buttons in. It's really important that all the windows are closed before you drive. You need to make sure that all the handles are fully locked on all the plastic windows. Otherwise, there's a good chance they'll fly away while you're driving. So to avoid that, just make sure everything's fully locked before setting off, as well as making sure your electric hookup's disconnected and gas turned off, etc. But all those instructions are in the manual, which is just up above here. So that's that. Coming round into the back, you've got your 3-ring gas hob. You've got your gas oven and grill there, cutlery and utensils in here, pots, pans and everything. To open these cupboards, just push the button down behind the handle before you pull that open, and just feel if anything's ready to fall out, just in case there's anything that's been dislodged as you're driving. Up here you've got your glasses, cafetiere, plates and everything. Welcome pack and washing up liquid cloth sponge, and the rest of your cleaning packs just in the cupboard down there. In here, it's in this cupboard. In this one, you've got your cleaning kit and Hoover over here in the bottom of the wardrobe. And then in here we've got your toilet. So I'll just reach in, turn on the light switch back there. So down here you've got your grey lever to open and close. So obviously lift the toilet lid as you would normally, pull the grey lever to the right to open the hatch, use the toilet as you would normally, push the blue button there to flush, and then once it's all drained down, pull that back to the left to close it off. And if you're using the shower, you would just lift this wooden grate out, undo these 2 straps to open the shower door round to here, and you lift the tap out, and you can push the grey button on top of the tap there to turn it to a shower spray. And the last thing I want to show you just around here, do excuse us, is the fridge controls. So we just hold the black square button in there to turn on the power. This is set to automatic. It's triggered the gas and it's running at 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is probably about right. 4 would keep it really cold. 5 would probably be too cold. Now, as long as you've got a blue light in the middle of, as long as you've got a blue light in the middle of the power button, the fridge is on. These lights will go into sleep mode, but you can just tap the white square there to double check what it's set to. So we know this is set to automatic. It's triggered the gas. You've got 3 settings, which essentially are gas, battery and plug. When you're off grid and the engine's off, your only power source is gas. When you're driving, it will be the battery. It's essentially the alternator. And then when you're on a campsite with electric hookup, it would be the plug setting that's triggered. So I'll just adjust these manually so you can just see. So plug, hold on there, sorry, let me start that again. So you see I've got it unplugged. We don't have the hookup connected, so you've got a red light there, so it's just not going to work. So to adjust it, hold that in there, move it over, battery for when you're driving, gas. But if you leave it on automatic, and so I've selected automatic again, when the power level's flashing there, then you can move it up or down to adjust the power level and push that white square to select. You can just leave it on automatic. If you ever see that red, just hold the power button in, turn all the lights off there, turn it on again, and that'll re-trigger whichever power source is available. So essentially, as long as you've got your gas bottle turned on, or electric hookup turned in, or the engine running, it will trigger whichever one's available. And that's it. And then up here, you've got your button there just to lower the electric drop-down bed, like so. And in the garage space in the back, we had the ladder that you would just hook on here. And then in the morning, obviously, just jump out of bed, unhook the ladder, and just hold the up arrow there to wind that back up. There we go. And the last thing here is just these, if you just turn around there, you've got your roof window, so push the button in, pull that down to open that up. Just make sure that's clipped in before you drive, and then you've got your blackout blinds built in there. This light here, you've got the power button on it, and you've got a couple of light switches behind there for the lights up above the rear bed. So I think that's everything. So that's your Islay motorhome.